haven't posted a video on the community map project for a while now, and it just so happens that Dice dropped a little update last night. Now unfortunately, there were 0 populated servers running at the time, and it was like 7 AM in the morning UK time, and as you can imagine, most people in Europe would probably be sleeping on a Saturday morning and or just getting up. So the footage is just me having a fly and a run around the map, but despite this, the updates that the devs have implemented have made the map much more realistic and close to completion than I've ever seen it before. The last time I posted a video on the jungle map, we had only just reached the point of the temple being built into the hillside, and the textures were nowhere near as complex as they are now. Some low-level foliage has been added, which when you run through it actually sways and you can turn around and see it moving behind you. It's a small little touch, but one that makes your surroundings all the more real. Also, the feel of the map, it is more like a jungle, and it's what I expected when we first started this project. Now, that's not to say that it didn't feel like a jungle before, but maybe the colour palette has been changed a little bit. I'm not 100% sure on why I feel this way, but maybe it's just the fact that it seems that more effort has gone in with this round of texture updates than there ever has before. Perhaps that's because these textures were actually ready to go in, but it does now properly feel like a jungle. The colours are much dirtier than they were before. I think that's probably the best way to describe it, which suits the map really well, because you're going to have vehicles driving around there, so you've got lots of sort of dirt tracks now. But even the greens don't feel as deep as they were before, and I kind of like that, because it feels like, well, this jungle's got like a village in it, a plantation, a medical facility. You could call it a working jungle if that's what you really want to call it. So it's not going to be as lush and as green as a jungle that's never been touched before. So I kind of like the way they've gone with this. It feels like the temple has been downscaled just slightly. The outside walls don't seem to extend as far as they did before. And this isn't a bad thing at all though. It makes it a little bit easier to see over the new walls that have been implemented. They now look like ruins in certain places, although most of the temple is still without proper texturing, apart from the tower at the back, which now has a nice rugged orange look. Moving over to the medical facility, you'll notice a few small outbuildings have been placed outside the boundary stone wall. Again, it's another small change, but it doesn't feel so open and exposed near the entrance and exits to the compound anymore. Before, if you were trying to take the facility back from the enemy team, you'd have a hard time getting close to the outside wall because there was basically no cover for you to use effectively. This update appears to address that issue. Whether it solves it though is a different question. If you go over to the C flag, which is basically the workers' village in the centre of the map, this area has been described before by the devs as fully destructible, which it is, but the new coloured textures on the buildings make blowing up stuff even more fun. A lot of the wooden huts now have this like blue faded paint on them, and there's a couple of metal outbuildings as well that it actually looks like metal, and some of the stonework, well, I'm not sure if this is true, but it feels more realistic, so it looks like the textures have been redone on the stonework down the sides as well. I hope I'm right there. It does feel a little bit different to me. And finally, we've been given a big overhaul of the plantation area of the map, which has gone from being a plantation into what looks like a working yard essentially, complete with 2 new structures, some kind of like long garage with 2 doors either side. If you think back to Bad Company 2, the map called Panama Canal, there are a lot of buildings on that map that were really long and had sort of like garage or warehouse feel to them. If you imagine that, that's basically what you've got right here. And then there's this other structure which is made of like, it's like a metal shelter that seems to be housing some undrivable vehicles. This certainly gives the flag more cover, which I think it desperately needed, but at the same time the devs don't seem to have moved the trees from the plantation. They've just removed them altogether. Now I'm sure something is being worked on to get these trees back in, as there is still a huge amount of flat ground around the outside of this flag, but it would have been nice to see the trees placed in that area around the capture point. It might have given us a better sense of how the flag could be attacked and defended. So there you are, that's about it, all up to date on the new and improved jungle map for Battlefield 4. This has only just been added back into CTE, and the update only came out about 12 hours ago or so. So I'm hoping if you go onto the CTE tonight, there should be a couple of full servers for you to try this out. If you do want to take part in the CTE on PC and now on Xbox One, then you'll need to be a premium member. Now for PC users, if you're not a premium member, you can get a code over at g2a.com/r/WestyCTE. That's a new code right there. And you can get the code for around £18, $28 or €26, depending on where you live in the world. The link's in the description, and you can use my code, which is West, and you can get, I think it's an extra 3% discount. Doesn't make a huge amount of difference, but it's still less than what you would pay without the code. And then you can get yourself involved in the CTE and test things like the jungle map and the new classic map, Dragon Valley, when it makes a reappearance. But thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me a like and a comment, it is always appreciated. But until next time, my name is Westy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.